Thank you for joining my journey. If you enjoy, hit like and subscribe. As our coach rumbled along Princess Street, it came into view. Edinburgh Castle, on its ancient volcanic rock, stood silhouetted against a romantic Scottish sky. It looks magnificent in photos, but seeing it in person and knowing you're about to perform there is something entirely different. A shiver of pure excitement ran down my spine, a feeling I had dreamt of since I first picked up the pipes. Today, on July 24th, 2025, that dream was becoming a reality. The air in Edinburgh always seemed to crackle with the history of energy, but this year, for the 75th anniversary of the Royal Edinburgh military tattoo, that feeling was magnified 100 times. It was more than just a performance, it was a pilgrimage. And my heart hammered against my ribs as I stepped off the bus and onto the grounds of our university accommodations, anticipating the days ahead when we would walk up the cobblestones of the Royal Mile. Once settled, it was the first opportunity to walk up to the castle gates feeling the weight of history, each step echoing the journeys of soldiers, royals, and performers who had come before me. The sheer scale of the fortress is humbling. You feel small standing beneath its imposing walls, yet you also feel part of something immense and enduring. I clutched my tattoo pass as it was my ticket to the experience ahead. The familiar face on the ID was a comforting anchor in the sea of overwhelming emotions. This was it. This was the place where legends are made. The sound of the pipes becomes the essence of Scotland. For a few glorious weeks in August, inside the castle grounds, the atmosphere was electric. Performers from all corners of the globe would soon be milling about. Their diverse uniforms a vibrant tapestry of color and vision. Everyone would be getting their kit ready for the first unveiling, and we anticipated seeing all the carefully pressed uniforms and the vibrant uniforms of the cross swords, pipes, and drums from Germany, and hearing a medley of languages and accents mingled with the distant tuning drones of bagpipes, which would create a unique and powerful symphony. This was the true spirit of the tattoo, a grand meeting of cultures, all united by a shared passion for music, discipline. I felt a surge of pride, knowing I was about to represent Paris Port Dover Pipe Band and my country, Canada, in this incredible world stage. The initial brief took place at Redford barracks, its ground a training area since World War I. The hallowed ground saw soldiers training and being inspected before heading to Flanders and the Somme. Major Ross McCrindle and our director Alan Lane spoke of the theme, the heroes who made us, and the importance of the 75th anniversary show. They reminded us that we were not just musicians, we were storytellers, tasked with honoring generations of heroes for our performance. Looking around at the focused faces of my fellow pipers and musicians, a mix of seasoned veterans and wide-eyed first-timers, I understood the weight of this responsibility. We were here to create an unforgettable experience, a tribute to 75 years of tradition, courage, and breathtaking artistry. The nerves were still there, but now they are mixed with a profound sense of purpose. The first rehearsal was the full mass pipes and drums, and it was an experience I will never forget. We gathered for a full week at Redford Barracks, a sea of tartan representing bands from across the Royal Regiment of Scotland. I spotted the kilts of the 1st Battalion Scots Guards and the other Royal Regiment of Scotland battalions, and even the Royal Edinburgh military tattoo house pipes and drums. Standing in the middle of it all, I felt an incredible sense of belonging. The sound when we first struck up the pipes together was immense, a physical force that seemed to vibrate right through your bones and into your soul. It was a roar of unity, a powerful declaration that we were ready. Learning the music for this special anniversary show was both a challenge and a privilege. The musical directors had crafted the program with homage to the rich history of the tattoo. We worked tirelessly on tempos and formations for each set, and we heard many haunting melodies that were a tribute to the past. The most exciting, however, was a collaborative medley titled Now That's What I Call Tattoo 75. It wove together iconic tunes from the last 7 decades, a truly innovative blend of the traditional and the present, mastering the intricate transitions and timings required, absolute focus and teamwork, and pushing our skills to the limit and forging a strong bond between all of us. What surprised me the most was how quickly friendships formed in the breaks between the drills. I found myself chatting with a piper from the Royal Regiment of Scotland, and a pipe major from the Combined University Officer Training Corps. We shared stories about our own bands and then places that we had traveled and tattoos that we've attended, and laughed about the shared challenges and marching in perfect formation. Language barriers seemed to melt away when we spoke the common language of music. These connections were a reminder that the tattoo was really about international connections and celebrations of our unity. Many of us were competitors at pipe band championships, but here we were one team. As the days of rehearsal went on, our individual sounds began to merge into one cohesive voice. The initial cacophony of tuning gave way to a perfectly harmonized chord for sight of over 200 pipers and drummers marching as one. Through all the hard work, our marching took on a real military precision, and it looked spectacular from within the ranks. Our pipe major would stand on a platform, his commands echoing across the field, guiding us from a collection of individuals into a single powerful entity. We were no longer just the pipes and drums of our respective regiments and bands. We were the massed pipes and drums of the 75th anniversary Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo, and we were ready for the Esplanade. The final dress rehearsal is a moment when everything becomes terrifyingly real. We marched from the castle's inner ground towards the drawbridge, the stone passage acting like an amplifier for the sound of our boots on the cobblestones. The sun was beginning to set, casting a golden glow over the city. As we emerged onto the Esplanade, the vast empty grandstands rose up on three sides, silently waiting. Even without an audience, the sheer scale of the arena was breathtaking. I looked up at the castle, now a dramatic backdrop, and imagined the stands filled with thousands of expectant faces. A fresh wave of nerves washed over me, colder and sharper this time. Backstage, in the moments before our public performance, the air was thick with a unique cocktail of emotions. There was a nervous energy, quiet focus, and palpable sense of camaraderie. Pipers made last-minute adjustments to the drones. Drummers tightened their snares, and dancers stretched in the wings. I saw performers from the Ukrainian Naval Forces Orchestra, their faces a picture of pride and determination, preparing for their historic debut. We gave each other encouraging nods and thumbs up, a silent acknowledgement of the journey we had all taken to get here. The shared anticipation was a powerful bond, uniting us all in the moments before the curtain rose on this spectacular show. Then came the call. Mass, pipes and drums, stand by. My heart leapt into my throat. This was it. We formed our ranks in the darkness of the gatehouse, the sound of the opening fanfare echoing from the Esplanade. I could hear the voices of the new storyteller, Terence Ray, his words setting the scene for the audience. I took a deep breath, and I adjusted my pipes on my shoulders, ready to go. I focused on the piper in front of me, on the rhythm of our breathing, on the immense trust we had built in each other over the weeks of relentless practice and focus. The world narrowed to this single electrifying moment. The command to march was given, and we stepped out of the shadows into the brilliant floodlights. The roar of the crowd was instantaneous and deafening, a wave of sound that hit you with physical force. The sight was incredible, a sea of faces lit by the glow of the arena, stretching up into the night sky. The castle was illuminated behind us, a majestic and silent witness to our performance. As the pipe major gave the signal, we lifted our pipes, drew a collective breath, and the first powerful note of our opening tune ripped through the night air. In that moment, all my nerves vanished, replaced by an overwhelming surge of adrenaline and pure, unadulterated joy. Performing on the Esplanade is an experience that transcends mere music. With every step on that hallowed ground, you feel the weight and privilege ahead. You're just not a performer, you're a guardian of tradition, a living part of the legacy that has captivated the world for 75 years. Marching in perfect unison with hundreds of others, a unified sound of our pipes soaring towards the stars, as a feeling of immense power and unity was created. And we looked out into the audience to see people from every corner of the earth, their faces filled with wonder, and you understand the profound impact of this shared cultural experience. This 75th anniversary performance felt particularly significant. As we played, I thought about the theme, The Hero Who Made Us. We were not only honoring military heroes, but also everyday heroes. The teachers, the doctors, the families, and supporters. We were also honoring the generations of performers who had stood on this very spot before us, building the tattoo into a global phenomenon. It is today, being part of this specific milestone, contributing my own breath and energy to this historic show that filled me with a sense of pride that was almost overwhelming. It was a moment of connection to the past, and I hope a note for the future. The grand finale was a spectacle of sound and light. All 800 performers filled the esplanade, a kaleidoscope of international color and music. We stood shoulder to shoulder with performers like Swiss Top Secret Drum Corps, the Polish Border Guard, the Tattoo's own wonderful dancers, fiddlers, and pipers, playing and singing with artists from so many different nations. While the lone piper played Sleep Dearie Sleep from the castle battlements high above, that was incredibly moving. It was a powerful symbol of global harmony, a testament to the power of music to unite people regardless of their background. It was the perfect embodiment of everything that tattoo stands for. As we marched off the esplanade for the final time that night, the applause ringing in our ear, I felt a profound sense of accomplishment and gratitude. Being part of the 75th Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo was more than just the performance of a lifetime. It was an affirmation of the teamwork, dedication, and passion that defines a world of piping and drumming. It was an honor to share the stirring music of Scotland with a global audience and be a small part of such a special and enduring event. I'll carry it with me, not just my memories of the light and the crowds, but a deep, lasting pride in our shared heritage and the universal language of music. And we bid a final farewell down the Royal Mile.